Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm getting ready for a Computer Olympiad conference. Fortunately, this year it's held remotely. You know, many years ago, I got into an argument with the organizers of the Computer Olympiad. This was in 2019. I was upset because I often had to travel places that I not necessarily had an objection to, but I'd rather be going somewhere else, right? We had a conference in Macau. Not long before that, we had a few in Amsterdam. A couple times they were in just places that I might not have an objection to, but I'd rather be going to see a friend or a family member. I'd rather be doing something else, right? Going to a lunar eclipse. I don't need to tell you how little vacation, personal time we have here in the United States, right? So I had an argument with one of the organizers. I said, can't we just do this remotely? Why do I have to travel to Macau or to Amsterdam? And I got into a serious argument with them, and I told them, do you realize how much money I'm spending? And they wouldn't budge on that. Now looking back at it, it's like, be careful what you wish for. So we get to do it remotely now, which is great. But aside from travel, one of the limiting factors when you get into these binge sessions of 4 or 5 hours of programming or competing is that eventually you have to eat, pee, and poop. And those are just annoyances, if you will. And I've actually had times where I've gotten containers to urinate into, and it's just such an indignity that humans have to have waste come out. And sometimes I would love to be traveling somewhere where food is not, especially healthy food, is not really readily available. And I often daydream about what opportunities would open up if we didn't have to eat, right? So I love theme parks. And I don't mind those 2, 3, 4 hour lines, but sooner or later, the body demands fuel, right? I mean, lately I've been getting better at it. I can go to an all-day theme park, but even still, it feels like I wish I could just take care of it. Or it's kind of like if you had a drug habit, right? Except this is a drug habit that nobody has found a cure to, right? Imagine nowadays you can't really smoke while waiting in line at a theme park. Imagine you had a smoking habit, right? That's how I like to treat my body calling out food, right? It's an annoyance that gets in the way of things that I'd rather be doing. Ditto when I take a flight somewhere, right? A 12-hour flight to see a friend or a family member. And certainly I can bring food onto the airplane, but it's cramped, and I'd rather not be doing that, right? You never know if especially food that's smelly, or maybe the person sitting next to you might have a food allergy. It's never pleasant to eat on an airplane anyway, regardless, right? Certain adventures would be a lot more open, right? Some people like to travel to take a safari in Africa. Some people like to take long distance walks. One time I walked all the way, I'll let you Google this. My family lived in Murraysville, a suburb of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I took a walk to Indiana, Pennsylvania one time. It took me a day and a half. Things like that would open up a lot and be a whole lot cleaner to do if we didn't have to eat or crap or whatever, right? Anyways, now my viewers might be saying, well, you know that's impossible. That's science fiction right there. Yes and no. I want you to visualize this and realize that your eating, especially your overeating, is really a liability, right? You should be out there enjoying all these things, right? You should be finding the cure for cancer, or writing the AI to the strongest computer chess program, discovering something new, and networking with new people, right? Anything you eat above your body's need, not only might it have health consequences, but it's a liability to your social life. I want you to see it that way. The more you see it that way, the more life really opens up, right? All right, thought I would point out a life hack. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.